Okay, so this is the biggest exercise of this class. This is your hazard analysis. And if you are working in the PDF, we did the chapter 4 exercise last. We are going to skip through the chapter 5 and 6 and 7, and we are going to do the chapter 8 hazard analysis. So as you can see, we have the same chart that we saw in the material earlier. You'll go through and you'll enter 2 or 3 of those steps in the flow diagram from whatever food safety plan you chose, and then you'll go through each of these columns for each one, identifying biological, chemical, and physical hazards. Now, each step might not have all 3. Some steps might have none, some steps might have 1, so just keep that in mind. And then, of course, you say, does it require preventive control, yes or no? Justify why. Define which preventive control you're going to use and how it can prevent or minimize that food safety hazard. So what are you going to do? Is it a process control and a cook step? Is it an allergen control and a label step? So on. And then, is the control applied at this step, yes or no? If you go into Google Classroom, and again, I will be emailing you these resources. We have our Chapter 8 hazard analysis. The Google Doc is a little bit wider and easier to fill in. It has additional instructions here. It also has the resources located within the actual Chapter 8 exercise. One thing that you will need to do is choose which food safety plan you want to work with. So in the Google Doc, in Google Classroom, you'll see you have the choice of blueberries, fettuccine marinara, a sour beer, green tomatoes, peanut butter, a leafy green salad, ground black pepper, cold pressed energy bar, and a broccoli, carrot, and pecan salad. So you get to choose whichever one of those you want. And that's what you're going to work with for the rest of the exercises. So just a heads up for that. So say I were to open one of these, so if I chose peanut butter, I'm going to read through the description, see what kind of products they make, and then I'm going to use the flow diagram, and I'm going to pick 3 of the steps. So maybe I want to try receiving, maybe I want to look at like raw peanut receiving. And then maybe I want to try something that I think will be a preventive control. So I'm going to go with label code probably, or metal detection. That's how I would do it. You can choose to just go right in a line down the column. It's up to you. So once you choose your example plan, that's what you're going to use to fill in this document. You're going to go through and identify the hazards. So say I went through with my peanut butter example, and I went through with the, let's say, receiving raw peanuts. I would go to my hazard lookup, and let's see what I have here. Nuts and seeds. Nuts. It's a ground nut. This is raw. It doesn't tell us if it's shelled or unshelled, so I'm going to pick shelled. And then we'll go shelf stable. And as you can see, it tells me I need to worry about salmonella and mycotoxins. Could potentially get recontaminated with environmental pathogens, undeclared allergens label, cross contact, misformulation, sulfite tailor number 5, and metal. So that is super convenient. So I know that I've got salmonella issues, mycotoxins, and allergens. Then for my physical hazard, they said metal. Voila. Since I got this straight from the guidance, I'm going yes on all of these. I know these are common problems. I know that they definitely need to be managed. Otherwise, somebody will definitely get sick and or die. So I'm going to justify FDA guidance for all of these. I would probably be a little bit more specific if I were doing this for my own food safety plan and not for an exercise, but we don't need to spend an enormous amount of time. I could say, you know, it causes vomiting and diarrhea, except I don't know how to spell diarrhea, which is a problem. Let's see if it'll fix it. There we go. And then mycotoxins, you know, cause GI tract issues, allergens. We have FALCPA requirements. And allergic reactions could kill someone. And metal can cut someone's mouth or GI tract. Okay. What preventive control can I put in place? So for salmonella, we know we have a roasting process. And that is a process preventive control. So I know it's going to be a time and temperature thing. So I need to look up those time and temperature ones for later when I fill out my process preventive control form. Then for this one, I am going to have a supply chain control for the mycotoxins. I'm going to get a COA. And do third-party audit. You could also do a second-party audit. It's up to you. And then I'm also going to do an allergen control. Let's see, we're at receiving the peanuts, so it's going to be labeling later. Okay, there we go. And then for our last one, for metal, we have a metal detector. One of our steps, and that is a process preventive control. There we are. We have all of them except for sanitation controls, and we could add a sanitation control. So if you see here, it says recontamination with environmental pathogens. So I could add environmental pathogens to this one and then say sanitation preventive control. Now, is it applied at this step? So are my process preventive controls at receiving? No. Supply chain? Yes. Allergen is no for this one because we're receiving, not labeling. We're not at the metal detector step, so that's a no. That's it in a nutshell. That's what you're gonna do. So it might take a little while to get used to and get rolling. That's why we're only requiring you to do 2 or 3. And then when you're done for the next exercise, you're gonna get the completed hazard analysis for whichever product that you choose.